they have not even acquired one camera. It is possible. Yeah. And we need to ask ourselves, is there a way whereby these people can be supported? And in case I am your bishop and I have not gotten the need for that camera, is it possible for you to be assisted so that you can convince also me as a bishop to know that you need that camera? Because sometimes we are not the same. God is good. Unaweza niambia unataka kamera nikwambie sikuna hii simu, si ndio? Siutumie. Yes. So is it possible so that even using the national office, we can have one voice, putting it together and saying, for our communication teams in our dioceses, please try and support them to get the required equipment. But then at the same time, one of the other expected outcomes for us is to see how we can strengthen the coverage engagement in nation building through the 5 Brethren campaign themes that we have highlighted in the beginning. About the family, about corruption, when you talk about the youth, when you talk about holistic education, and the care for our common home, as we say during Mass. I don't need to go deep into this because I know you'll be going to each topic one by one as we prepare for the launch. That is what I can say we may be expecting at the end of the forum. But what was the context of calling this workshop? It's good to note that first and foremost, the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops has always given press statements and pastoral letters to provide what we call moral and ethical guidance on government and the society. And these documents, whenever they are released, whenever we give the statements, they address particular areas. And as I said, we try to look at the government's achievements. We also look at the failures. We look at corruption. We look at social injustices. We look at national challenges. It is out of these, as those who introduced the other teams were saying, that we come and look at how we can implement the voice of our bishops when they give the message. How do we come in? Because the bishops are the drivers and the teachers and the authority within the church. Then, both CJPD and current communicators have a duty to be prophetic voice so that they know that the message that was given reaches out to the grassroots and bring that influence. So you are the prophetic voice. We have given the statement. We have called for a press conference, and you always come. Sorry that most of the press conferences, they are given within our. But even if they are given within our, we have our own way how we tap from our dioceses, isn't it? And we also circulate even the hard copy and soft copy to different dioceses. How do we disseminate that message? And then another context is of what is currently happening even in the country. The challenges that are there. All of us we know. There is the issue of moral decay, the issue of corruption, the issue of environmental degradation, instability, the issue of youth empowerment. And we need to look at all these aspects and see how best we can incorporate. Not forgetting that the Catholic Church through Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops remains the moral compass, where we have to advocate for peace and ethical governance. Now, with this, we may ask ourselves, what is our role? And we need to note that each partner has a role to play in promoting accountability and responsibility as Kenyan citizens. First, we have the role played by the bishops. They have the moral and spiritual authority. And as bishops, we have to provide the vision and ethical foundation. for the church engagement with the government, to promote peace and justice, to advocate for policy, what we call policy reforms, and to ensure that the current voice remains strong. As bishops, we pray our Lord. We'll be there to make sure we give the guidance. But then we have the CJPD, grassroots implementers of justice and peace. You have your role. You have to engage people for civic education and community mobilization and policy advocacy. We have also to strengthen governance and accountability at all levels with the civil society and faith-based groups. I'm happy that I know in the among greater number of dioceses, and particularly around where I've been, we always organize these forums for civic education. I wish you keep up that spirit. And I challenge that let us not wait until it comes the time for elections. Because these programs, I usually see them wakati imekaribia uchaguzi. Penye huwa, na msiongee vibaya, lakini penye huwa mnapata hiyo funding. God is good. Penye huwa inapatikana hiyo funding kabla ya uchaguzi. Is it possible to patafute funding continuous for the 5 years tuzingojee the last year? Are we together? Yes. So that at least people know. Because even wakati unangojea mpaka mwisho, unapata sometimes we lack na watu wako na fikira zingine or maybe wameshaharibiwa vichwa zao, hawako wasoba wakati wanasikiza hivi. Let us try. Like now, we do it even with what is happening. Then we can also, as CJPD, try our best to facilitate citizen-led oversight of public resources and service delivery. Looking at what is happening, somebody has talked about it, Dr. Mkua, about what your county government and how we collaborate with them. And somebody will come and also highlight on our collaboration with them. Can we make sure that you are alive in case anything happens there? And don't be biased. Be very balanced and also bring to the attention of the people if there is a less happening somewhere. And then we have the Catholic communicators and media who we are supposed to be the voice of the church in the society. Our Catholic radios and media platforms serve as the bridge between the church teaching and public dialogue on governance, corruption, and also morality. We have to make sure that we use case studies. We have to organize for talk shows. We have to organize as communicators. We organize about audience and engagement forums, and also drive national actions on justice. We need to collaborate with the CJPD to team up to translate advocacy in action by ensuring consistent messaging and public awareness. We are the one who have passed the information. In a world where we have a lot of misinformation. Remember, in the month of November, while in Mombasa, in a workshop, we heard about false information, which is circulating very fast. People come up with misinformation, and they disseminate. How can I, as a communication coordinator, make sure that I disseminate the truth, information, clear details of what is happening? And then, with the invitation of the institution here where we are, the Center of Media and Communications, where they do research as an impact hub, we work on and we hope that we play our role by strengthening the evidence-based advocacy through research and data collection. And also, we can also engage the media in what we are doing. Let us support the CJPD and Catholic media with the training like this one, and also we're coming up with strategic communication and policy influencing. tools. And I would like to take this opportunity at this juncture to, in a very special way, appreciate the Royal Center for Media and Communications for organizing this one. I request that we give them a clap. We will collaborate with these teams and also ensure we go to the level of the decision and parish activities. The speaker, our madam, when she was making her remarks, she talks about where this Royal Center for Media Communications are engaged, not only in Kenya. I think you mentioned how many other countries? 5 other countries. I request, as we appreciate your efforts, you also do what we call liberation within our country. Go even to the dioceses, particular dioceses. Organize a follow-up out of Nairobi next time, Dr. Makua. Organize a follow-up in Mombasa. Organize a follow-up in Murang'a, in Isiolo. Go to parishes, and this also will have a big impact. I know it is a big challenge, but we can also do it. Let us try what we can. And as I conclude, I want to say that neither the church nor the state can work alone. We must work together to promote accountability. The church and the state, we must work together to achieve the vision of just, peaceful, and prosperous Kenya. While the church promotes what we call moral guidance and grassroots mobilization, the state holds the legal and structural effect a lasting change. The Catholic Church will continue challenging corruption, injustices, environmental destruction, but the government institutions must enforce the laws. It must uphold transparency and prioritize the citizens' welfare. As responsible citizens, as Kenyans, we must contribute to the building of a nation rooted in integrity, justice, and also the common good. Therefore, these workshops through success will be seen not only in discussions, but also in what we call tangible, missionable action in communities across the country. I therefore, in those few remarks, take this opportunity to issue God's blessings to this workshop. Beyond what we are going to discuss here, to know God better, love Him better, and see how we can achieve the dream of the Kenya we desire. Thank you, and God bless you all. Yes, I just reminded here, there is one statement I forgot, and that is to officially say that this workshop is officially now.
Pilgrims of hope.
Together in prayer.
Together in prayer.
Pilgrims of hope.
Our Bishop, thank you very much for your statement. I believe communication coordinators and CJPD coordinators, we are all hearing what the Lord Bishop is saying, that we need to collaborate, work together, and also support one another. And above all, what I had is we need also to look for resources to enable us carry out our activities as we strategize on how to make sure that we live in a peaceful country and environment as well. So with those, I will ask that we appreciate our Lord Bishop. I'll teach you a foreign language. Yes. And then we'll integrate the rhythm of Moi class, and we'll count but the counting is going to be in a foreign language. So we are going to do it like this. If I say Achia, Ario, Ade, and then you clap, the one will be okay. Okay, let's try and repeat. I am confident.
Achia na Rio ade can win.
Achia, Ario, Ade, come.
Achia na Rio ade can win.
I needed to do an advocacy before the bishop goes, but I listened to it, but he said that it can navigate for you. Those of you working in communication and your bishop has not supported you or has not understood you for recruitment. I'll follow him up later. Yes, telling to credit the permanent council and the bishop's plan. You know that's how these things go. Yeah, so you can talk to his fellow bishops of the importance of this. But yeah, brief that way.
Yes. It's about the model in house.
Yes.
Some of us understand whether we are happy.
Yes. Benson. They announced that they will bring the material. Yeah, there's writing material that should be brought. And also, as much as possible, nowadays online, it's very difficult for someone like you.
Also, someone has been asking about in case of what you want to take your network.
Yeah.
This is where network
Okay. I think the logistics people, Benson, just come and announce those things. But the other offices.
We apologize for the network issues. Safaricom has given an apology. Anyway, Benson has gone to check on the writing materials. They'll be coming in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And then also the network has the papers going to be printed. So by great time we'll be having the network and we'll be happy. Yes, we are sorting that out. And also the very critical offices, we just right. They are both here. Thank you.
I'd like to remind you that at 5, this is but at least you will be here knowing what it is. Is that okay? Yeah. So you have to be very nice and talk to them nicely. They are great ladies. If you come very strong, they might step off. They might think you are a survivor outside here. All right. I think I want to go straight to. Yes, to agenda, maybe you can turn off these lights if it's not a big deal. The ones is on. So can you all see? Okay, you might struggle at some points, but hopefully you'll be able to see, but get the point. So, as we said, we are here for a strategic trade practice positioning on communication, justice, and peace. So, this is a strategic workshop that heavily borrows from the Lenten campaign, but as we've been invited by the bishop and through other bishops, we need to issues are very much CJPD issues. And so all communication with Sister Arla, those are team from the social communication. We're very grateful to Zeus Satamaro and his team, national team, as well as all the coordinators for coming. We don't take your time for granted. You're all very busy people. Some of you work elsewhere, so we want to come. Thank you so much. It's meant to help us identify at the diocese level and also the national level. I will explain, I'll break that down. One thing you will see between now and tomorrow is that there are too many ideas. Please don't be overwhelmed. Don't be overwhelmed. You know your diocese very well. You know your communication office very well. You know what you can do. You know what you can't do. So please, I just want to remind us all that things can sound very, very overwhelming. And of course, the context we live in has a lot to reflect on. So please keep active with us. Remind yourself that you can only, okay, that's a disclaimer up front. So don't feel like, now you have said this, and again this, and again this, and another one. Now, what are you going to do? No, we don't want anyone to live here. We'd like you to live here with something concrete, tangible, diocese, and the national office. Okay, so that's all we ask. But the breadth of issues is pretty overwhelming. What's the context? Let me just raise a few points. Of course, this we can discuss for hours and hours, and all of you will add value to this. But let's begin with what's happening globally. We all know Trump, Donald Trump, and we know what he's done. What has he done? He has reminded us that pesos are here and yeah. So I think it's a real wake-up call. Our people are being thrown back, whether you like it or not. Just put into lights, chain, a number of them are chained, so you put in the flight with no option and you just report it like that. So it's not a very kind gesture. If you look at the numbers of deportees, even from other countries, Mexico has almost a million. Very big numbers. Kenya is not very big, but we know we have very many Kenyans in the US. Some legally they are documented as they call them, some not documented. So, yeah, sorry, my phones, I realized too late that it's not highly visible. So what I'll do, I'll share this with you. Is that okay? Yeah, so pick the points you can. I'm so sorry, I thought it was going to be big enough, but I realized it's not working. So, Trump is a very, very good wake-up call. I don't know if I should expand that further, but I think there are many, the nation said there were 38,000 Kenyans who lost jobs. Did you see that? Yeah, 38,000 directly working in the US. So 38,000 Kenyans at different levels are jobless. But think about the sick, the far, it's very difficult. And that's why our CJPD has communication teams. It's for us to begin reflecting hard, really, which country we belong to. This is our only country, this is our mother country. And if people are going to die because someone who's been donating has decided to stop donating, we can't judge the person. Yeah, they don't have a legal obligation. In fact, even a moral obligation. Maybe supply a reason for now because it's decided. The second point I'd days ago in a very unfriendly manner, the ID vetting. Anyone aware of that? ID vetting, you are aware of it? Yeah, so I think there is an issue there, and I remember I mentioned this last time the state of the nation when you were in Mombasa, but it's becoming more serious. It's a very serious issue around the world. We need to reflect as people just peace. Hopefully we are not becoming xenophobic because of Africa's that problem. But we really need to think about where is this country going? Where are we with this very many people coming? And not just from one country, very many countries. People are coming here. Now, is that a bad thing? I don't think necessarily it's a bad thing, but the legalities of all this, I think we need to reflect really, really hard. And the way the conversation is going, if you ask me the next 20, 25, 30 years from now, there will be a lot of religious extremism in this country. I think maybe I'm being paranoid. The other challenge, the other place where we are, of course, we know the Kenya and Kwanzaa government has significant challenges in the sense of the ruling, for example, the last ruling, that the majority is as new. Yeah. Now, that's how these things begin like a joke, and then they build up to something very significant. So we as the people who support the bishops, we have to reflect. People who are citizens, Kenyans, who are committed to our own country, our civic obligation, we need to reflect on this. We need to think about this also very, very seriously. So which government we have and how is it going to work? And then of course the issues of abductions. Now, anyone from Isiro here? Anyone from Isiro?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so maybe at some point you can also give us a story. Because the issues from Isiro are not exactly palatable. Am I right? Yeah, so we have some issues to discuss, but that's the context. The Jersey, we need to keep that in mind. Maybe in some parts of the country, and of course the last point is the single hospitality. Particularly there is a whole section of accountability and transparency. We need to reflect that a little bit. It's nothing to do with the economic needs, and there are many reasons why family is going to be on the agenda, and I hope Aminata will hear, which is not here, she will be coming soon. Just to give a snippet of this whole family. Corruption, needless to say, is another agenda. The youth, a big agenda, and then holistic education, for morning, and our common goal. I have to say, for purposes of concentration, we're concentrating on number 1 to 4, not because we don't care about the environment, but because it has been a recurring theme every Lenten season. I think and then I know CJPD at least, last year there was a workshop on diocesan at JJ, so I think we fairly have enough material. So there's no much time to speak about this one because it's quite well covered. But let me provide some frameworks. Now, frameworks to do what? We are here to kind of put together in terms of what can we do during the Lenten season. What we are doing here is this is a replica of what you might want to do in your diocese. Bring your CJPD and social communication people, parish communication agents, wherever you have, put them together the way we will put ourselves together. Okay, call them together. Take them through the 5 Lenten themes. Exactly as we're going to do, you want to replicate this. This is one of our goals. Now, we want them to have depth in understanding the thematic areas. Why? Because when they go to their parishes, they are able to explain them better. What happens normally, we get these themes, we give them to the parishes, and sets of people isn't like a formative approach to this. Now, formation is very important. The more you understand them, the better for you to implement and then to follow. As I say, it can be overwhelming. Please remember, pick what you can, that which you can. So not everything. So we want to provide a way in which you can train, but also implement, but also measure any of the activities you would like to follow, whether it's corruption, whether it's working with youth. Of course, you know, bishops are very keen on education, on health. There are many issues that they really wish to feel that you people who are directly under the diocese, you also are supporting them. As I said, the context that this is a little bit hostile towards the Catholic Church, not overtly, but covertly. So if you can do something in your diocese, I'm very sure the bishops will appreciate. So these frameworks I'm going to explain in a moment. Choose any which will help you. How do you approach issues of corruption in particular, anti-corruption campaign, but anything else. So I have 5 frameworks. You can see which one fits you, which one fits your context, which one fits your diocese. Okay? Number 1 is what we call the virtuous approach, the virtue ethics. Virtue ethics. Those of you who have done philosophy, you know Aristotle. This we're really getting Aristotelian here. What is I think I can paste this. Better? You can see there. Can you see us too far? A bit better. Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah. That's a bit better. Okay. So one way we are going to approach the whole question of promoting accountability and transparency, basically fighting corruption is the same thing. Some people want it more positive, like promoting accountability and transparency, because you know how you will be showing in the afternoon the figures. One way is to focus on virtue and ethics, or virtue ethics. What are we called to do? We are called to form people in character, moral character. Okay? You can organize yourself and your team around formation of people. Even these are our politicians. Sometimes we're very hard on them in the way they steal and entrepreneurs. But surely, how many of them have been trained on what ethics is? Just think about it, strictly speaking. How many? How many of them have ever really had a session where you have told them justice means this, ethics is this, to do right is this, to make choices? How many? Just think about it. You realize many of them don't, even ourselves. None of us have had such trainings. So virtue ethics is really about thinking about formation of the leaders. And some of you are very good rapport, some of you, and I want to tell you that this is possible. The parliamentary liaison office that's headed by, you said it's a Tamara, calls members of parliament. We do meet them. I think they meet in different forums. So it's possible actually that you can call your MCAs, you can call your county government officials. It's very possible. Some dioceses more than others. But and in that case, the whole point, another leaders is to form them on what do we mean when we say someone is good. Because we can be pushing people towards what they don't know. Okay? So that's the one framework you can use where you emphasize moral character. Moral character. Okay? And the application is personal development. So if we want good people, let's not tell people don't do this, but also teach them why they should be good people. Okay? Number 2, Ubuntu. Now, Ubuntu is a very African approach. Now, some communities in Kenya don't understand a lot of these bad ways and so on. Some communities are very African in this part of the country, depending on where you come from. And what might speak to them is actually using a very communitarian approach. Okay? So Ubuntu philosophy is very important. We are Africans, we have our culture, and that's the language they might find more useful. So, and in fact, when it comes to the synodality, we have the question of the 3 pillars. And one of them is participation community. So we need to see whether we can also touch our people through the African culture. We shouldn't throw it out of the window. Okay? So that's another one you can apply, and it's very, very important, especially where you need to build communities, Yeah, so think about community and social cohesion, and we might want to think deeper about social cohesion through. Now, for the people in the media, I want to show you how social learning theory is very important. Very, very important in what we do and where we have to do that. But basically, here we're talking about role models. Who is a role model? Who is a role model? And how do we frame role models in our media? Whom do we bring to talk? Is it just a question of the so-called objectivity, get a good man and a bad person, let them talk, or antagonists, let them talk, we are objective? It's more than that. So, even CJPD, when we talk about role models, who are role models? Whom do young people look up to? Yeah, so you need to think about that, but I'll show you shortly what that will entail. For those of us who come from a very spiritual background, koinonia is what? It's a concept of community living. You know, it's about community, and it's the building from the Acts of the Apostles. They came together. Now, as CJPD and social communications, you know what's happening in this country. There is a lot of divisions that can be, especially in terms of funds. You can see what's happening in terms of who gets, tenders, scholarships, jobs, and so on. That's really the opposite of koinonia. We need to find a way. We need to push for communion. Otherwise, the young people, as you can see, they are saying most of us are the people who are messed up in their country. So what do we need to do here? One, we can organize ecumenical prayer meetings. In this very room, we have ever held international interreligious dialogue community. So we're not telling you something that we don't know. You also can do the same in your diocese. Interreligious or ecumenical prayer meetings or interreligious dialogue meetings to talk about this corruption. We did here in this very room, and we had many bishops from many different churches, and there was a really fire around here. The only difference is that some of them told us we are too nice, we are too passive, we were preaching. Some of them want radical, they want people to go to the streets and or offices, get this corrupt people out. We say, well, we're in charge. Yeah, so but that's one thing you can do, practically do in your place. Secondly, amplify the bishop's press statements and pastorals, which you have done very well, but I think that you continue to do it. Okay. So what do we expect from you? What do we expect from you? You're going to hear many speakers, not very many, but speakers. One of them is already here, and she's going to talk about family for about 30 minutes. Please, again, I'm just emphasizing this so that you're not overwhelmed. Pick an element that you think from the whole, any of those frameworks or the whole here, including conversations, pray wherever you are. Pick one actionable point. Okay? There are many issues, either at the family level, at the youth level, at corruption level, environment level, or holistic education level, which are themes of the Lenten season, or beyond that. And please do something, that's the goal. And then we are going to see how we do this together. At the national level, I want to believe there can be one or two issues, implementable issues, easy to implement that can network everyone. And as LCMC, we can help you, as we show you, in terms of feedback, analysis, and bringing everything together. Refine your thoughts. We hope you will also have a chance to interact so that you can see how best to implement whatever is of interest to your diocese. Generate your list of actions, projects, or programs. And again, remember, for funders, it's very important to show that you work in a bigger network. So the bigger we are, the better for your national offices. Finally, develop a practical CJPD Catholic media partnership. Yeah, that would be of great help. So I will give you this in the afternoon when we finish. We already suggested a framework of what you can do. This tool is there for you. All you need is to get it through the WhatsApp board. It's easy, just input what you want, okay, at the end of the day. So you have steps, you have actions, you have collaboration. This is meant for you at the diocese level. How you can implement it. It's pretty straightforward, and we will show you how it works. So you don't have to go back and say, now how do I start? No, we're giving you all the tools, all the frameworks to help you do it. Finally, this should be my last slide. So what are our expected outcomes? Again, just as a repetition, that we create nationally and have one or two areas we can collaborate, especially putting together our little actions and also helping the bishops feel like, yes, something is happening. Ourselves, and of course, we can work on the sister life and Amalo. If you get feedback from dioceses, we can put it together for you. So it's easier for your report, but it's also easier and better for your donors together. Character formation, community engagement, role modeling, spirituality is important. We do remind people when we are in these forums here that the Catholic Church has an agenda. We are not an agendaless people. No, we have an agenda. We have a spirituality. We have an identity. So it's not like we don't have an agenda. No, we have an agenda. What's our agenda? Gospel values. Yeah. Here in Kenya, we are many Christians, but in other countries, the Catholic Church is a minority. So we have an agenda. We are neutral, yes, but being neutral doesn't mean we have no agenda. No, we have. In this case, justice and peace is an agenda, isn't it? Yeah, it's an agenda, and we need to follow it because it's an agenda. Yeah, and we have our frameworks, we have our goals. Okay. So with that, I want to thank you, but let me stop here for 5 minutes. If there are any questions, the outcomes, what we expected to do. Is everything clear? Are we clear? Okay. Any question for now we proceed? Because this is the last time you are seeing me making a lot of noise. Just to make sure that we are all the same boat, so we understand the agenda, why we're here. Please, if possible, stay through all the sessions so you have better connection. With that, then, I think I let the program run. Who is the next to be invited? So thank you very much for listening to me, and enjoy your 2 days.
It's Thank you very much. No, this morning, mwingine anakwambia mvua inanyesha nje, mwingine anakwambia nje. Someone telling you it's raining outside, and another one comes telling you it's not raining. So that means we have to, in case of rumors, do investigation.
Of course, we all know that they all come from families. Today, we cannot just say, you just